Welcome back. Today we are in chapter 5 where we talk about political correctness. Is it true or is it politically correct? In this chapter we learn the term politically correct and kind of what that actually means, where that has come from. And you make the claim that this is a communist term. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, this was fascinating. I didn't know that before either, and I smile when I hear the word politically correct because, boy, if there's ever a term by which it seems that there's a universal recoil, it might be politically correct. And people see it in the Bible study that it goes back to this idea. It was in Russia, for instance, that say back in the 30s, that if the Communist Party said something, it was so. It didn't matter what they would say. I think I used the example that if the Communist Party would say it is always sunny in July in Russia, and you could be standing in the middle of a pouring rainstorm,
And you'd have to
you still have to say that. Otherwise, the party would come get you, and usually nothing good would result from that. So the idea of political correctness, the political correct truth there would have been, it is always sunny in Russia, but sadly that's the opposite of the actual truth. And the idea of political correctness is that if you don't toe the party line, then there are typically consequences that follow.
And that's something that it's important because that term is used often to censor people, to be honest, of what you can and can't say. So is politically correct then, just to be clarified, different than factually correct?
Very often it is. Very often. Political correctness, in many ways, it's a tool of coercion to bring about a desired result regardless of what the actual truth is, which is an interesting contrast for us as Christians, because as Christians we believe in someone who said, I am the way, the truth, that is the truth incarnate, and the life, that is Jesus Christ. And we are called as Christians to actually sacrifice ourselves for the sake of that truth if need be. Whereas in Marxism, it's just the opposite, where the truth can be sacrificed to achieve whatever aim or goal the party in power has.
So the pursuit or the role of truth in our culture seems to be diminishing. Is that something that you would find to be true, or what do you think of that?
Without any doubt at all. And I think what people probably resent the most is when they know something is true, but they're not allowed to say it because they know, whether it's at work or whether it's with family members or whether it's at school, and I've had lots of people come up to me and talk about this, things that they wanted to say just at their place of work where they were receiving a cultural Marxist training, but they can't say anything because it is not politically correct to do so.
Yeah, so they literally disagree and think what they're hearing is wrong, and yet they will limit themselves and say nothing.
Yeah, and that's one of the parts of cultural Marxism that we'll touch on in the coming chapters, that in many ways it sadly shuts down very important discussion and debate in favor of saying this is how it has to be.
So in the study, a call to courage is something we're going to be talking about more as the weeks go on.
There's a reason that word is in the title as well.
That's right. Well, blessings on your study today. We'll join you again next time for chapter 6, where we'll touch on critical theory. Ooh.